Hey everyone, and welcome back to this week's edition of the Suffolk Sports Report. I'm Josh DePiel.
And I'm Di Pajeski. We got stories galore this week, so stay tuned because this week's episode starts right now.
Hey guys, Lucky here from the Boston Celtics, and you're about to watch the Suffolk Sports Report.
Oh, that's a catch. Tatum drives down and throws it down. Pressure. Wow, save by Rash on his belly. Way back it carries. And that ball is gone.
Huge news coming out of the NBA this week with both the draft and the trading deadline. However, we're going to go out to the Bay Area first, where we saw the Splash Brothers become the Splash Bro. NBA star Klay Thompson suffered a torn Achilles during a workout in Southern California. ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski says Thompson is expected to make a full recovery, but will miss the entire 2021 NBA season. This is the second straight year that Thompson will miss after he suffered a torn ACL against the Toronto Raptors in the 2019 NBA Finals. This puts a major obstacle in front of what was supposed to be a rebound year for the Warriors, with a lottery pick and their two-star shooters coming back. Now we can expect to see Steph throwing them up from half court a whole lot more this year.
Two big trades happened in the NBA this week, with Drew Holiday and Al Horford getting a change in scenery. Holiday ships up to Milwaukee as the Bucks give up 3 first-rounders and Eric Bledsoe to get an offensive upgrade for their backcourt to take some pressure off of Giannis. The Sixers traded away Al Horford to Oklahoma City as essentially a salary dump for his $109 million contract. The Thunder made away with another first-round pick, increasing their treasure trove to 17 up until the year 2026.
Big news coming from the Celtics organization as Gordon Hayward opts out of his $34.2 million player option on Thursday, making him an unrestricted free agent. This likely brings a tumultuous end to his Celtics career, marked with multiple injuries. Hayward was originally signed in 2017 to go alongside Kyrie Irving, but it never worked out. In 52 games this year, Hayward averaged 17, 6, and 4. Now, Di, we saw even more happen in the NBA with a little something called the NBA draft. What just happened?
Yeah, Josh. Well, the first ever virtual NBA draft went down last Wednesday, headlined by the Minnesota Timberwolves selecting Anthony Edwards with the #1 pick. There was a lot of talk pre-draft that Minnesota was going to take calls for a potential trade until the last minute, but at the end they got the explosive 6'5", 3-level scoring wing from Georgia. He'll be a great complement to the all-star duo of Karl Anthony Towns and D'Angelo Russell. The Golden State Warriors also kept their pick and selected center James Wiseman from Memphis. The Warriors get an athletic 7-footer who will be a rim-running lob threat for Steph Curry. To round out the top 3, the Charlotte Hornets selected LaMelo Ball. We all know about the Ball family, the debacle in Lithuania, the reality TV show, social media, you name it. LaMelo will look to prove haters wrong and make his mark as the best Ball brother and prove that he's more than his family's antics. Well, what about the Celtics, you may ask? Despite all the trade rumors, Celtics ended up keeping 2 of their 3 first-round picks, trading the 30th pick for more picks in the future. Adding elite shooting was the theme of that Celtics draft, as they took the best shooter in the draft, Aaron Nesmith, with the 14th pick. Nesmith comes in with an impressive 52% three-point shooting with high volume, taking over 8 threes per game during his sophomore season at Vanderbilt, which was cut short to 14 games due to a foot injury. He's also an excellent defender with size at 6'6" and a 6'10" wingspan, and he should fit right into Brad Stevens' switch-heavy defensive schemes. The Celtics picked Oregon guard Peyton Pritchard with the 26th pick. The 6'2" guard was the Pac-12 Player of the Year during his senior year, averaging 20 points and 5.5 assists per game, while shooting 41.5% from deep. The Celtics are excited about the work ethic of these two, with head coach Brad Stevens calling them gym rats. Although many fans are disappointed that the front court wasn't addressed in the draft, they should be excited to have 2 plug-and-play options who are ready to contribute to the team right away. Switching over to the world of baseball, what happened in New York this week, Josh?
Yeah, Di, who knew that in the week of the NBA draft, it isn't the Knicks screw-up that we're talking about. Instead, we're going to Citi Field, where Mets second baseman Robinson Cano was suspended for the entire 2021 season after testing positive for PEDs. It's the second time of Cano's career that he's tested positive for performance enhancers, and if we're going by the standards set for guys like Barry Bonds and Mark McGwire, it essentially bars him from the Hall of Fame.
Big news from down in Miami as Kim Ng was announced as the Marlins general manager. Ng is the first woman in baseball's history to hold this position. Starting as an intern with the White Sox in 1990, she worked her way through the league in a variety of positions before finally getting the position in Miami. Best of luck to her. Now it's time. Here's JD Conte with this week's edition of the Conte Countdown to Kickoff.
Welcome back, Patriots fans. We're glad to have you back to talk about a fantastic week of Patriots football. It's incredible how much our aspects on a team can change in just the course of a week, isn't it? Last week, we were holding our breath against the Jets. And this week, we're looking at our playoff chances after beating the reigning MVP and his squad. Well, if 2020 has taught us anything, it's that each week is going to give us a very different look at the future. In case you missed the Sunday night thriller, the Patriots outlasted the Baltimore Ravens by a score of 23-17 in a rainy battle of historically successful AFC franchises. Cam Newton was stellar once again, and the offense showed some signs of life. Newton only threw 17 passes, but completed 13 of them for 118 yards and a touchdown. And in a year where we like to talk about the lack of weapons on the Patriots' offense, another underappreciated player has come out and reminded us they exist. Rex Burkhead was the star of the night, as the bald man himself had 66 yards of offense and 2 receiving touchdowns. One of those receiving touchdowns actually came from Jacoby Myers, who, in case you didn't know, was actually a star quarterback in high school. The Patriots defense, on the other hand, came out with a bend, don't break strategy. They showed up when they were needed most, as they did not allow a single point in the fourth quarter. They may have had a little help from the sudden torrential downpour on the Ravens' final drive, but we don't need to talk about that. They nonetheless held Lamar Jackson and the Ravens to a season-low 17 points. On a highlight note, J.C. Jackson had his 5th straight game with an interception. That's a franchise record. He wasn't even on the Pro Bowl ballot until Patriots fans rose up to get him listed. This week, the Patriots are set to battle the disappointing Houston Texans. After trading All-Pro wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins this past offseason for a bag of chips, Deshaun Watson and the Texans are struggling to live up to their fans' expectations. A few weeks into the season, they fired head coach and GM Bill O'Brien. He's the guy who made that god-awful trade. But his leaving really hasn't helped them at all. They sit at 3rd place in the AFC South at a truly disappointing 2-7. Don't let those numbers fool you, though. Let's remind ourselves that the Patriots have been incredibly inconsistent on both sides of the ball this year. And the Texans have enough natural talent that if the Patriots aren't careful, we could easily see this must-win slip out of our fingers. That's it from me this week. Back to you guys.
Thanks, JD. That'll just about do it for us here in Studio 73, but we got one last little segment here thanks to a special Boston birthday this week.
That's right, Josh. It was David Ortiz's 45th birthday on Wednesday, so we're counting down the top 5 plays of his career.
Yep, let's start off at number 5. It's Ortiz against the Tampa Bay Rays, hitting home run for his career number 500. He's only the 4th Red Sox player to ever hit that amount in number of home runs. There he is with Pedroia. Great moment for Big Papi down at Tropicana Field.
All right, coming in at number 4, we have ALCS Game 5. Ortiz hits the walk-off single to come in. Johnny Damon rounding 3rd, and they're running on their way to New York. Continue the comeback. 2nd straight game with a walk-off. There's Ortiz there. There's Fenway going crazy.
Number 3, same series, 2004 ALCS, Game 3. It was the game, or Game 4, excuse me. It was the game that spurred the 3-0 comeback in the series. A walk-off 2-run home run against the Yankees. There he is, Ortiz running a home plate, mobbed by his teammates. Great moment for Big Papi. And look at Fenway Park going just crazy. I wish I was there. That'd be awesome.
All right, coming in at number 2, the postseason heroics continue. 2013 ALCS Game 2. And it's going over the wall. Policeman's hands up, and it's gone. Grand slam to tie the game after Scherzer had pitched a gem up to that point. The Sox would go on to beat the Cardinals in the World Series. And there's the curtain call.
Number 1, what else could it be? It's the very big Boston Marathon speech that he gave after the Boston Marathon's bombings. I can't tell it any better than he did, so I'll give Papi the mic.
This is our fucking city. And nobody gonna dictate our freedom. Stay strong. Thank you.
Great stuff from the Red Sox legend.
That'll do it here for us today. I'm Di Fajeski.
And I'm Josh DePiel. We'll see you guys after Thanksgiving.